How's it going, everybody?
Well, first of all, we want to say thank you uh, for watching our channel and subscribing to our channel. We thank all our subscribers that we've been able to reach the goal for what do you call it, 1,000 subscribers and more. And we are so glad. We are so glad that everybody. We are so glad that everybody is on board and understand exactly how this trip is going with us. Anyway, I have some tips that I want to share with you all, especially those who want to travel out, to Ghana, and there's certain things that you need to know. So we want, and then there's a couple of questions that people were asking, So we want to make sure that at least you are aware and that we can answer some of your questions. So first of all, it's about the passport. I mean, you need a passport to be able to go to Ghana, okay? And then you need to, what do you call it? Send it to the Ghana embassy so that, and it's $100 just to, get the visa. And that's what I did for her. And
We got the visa almost like 2 years ago. So
yeah, like a year,
very early.
yeah, before the COVID hit, right? Yeah.
And
So
they approved it for
Mhm.
5 years.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
So I recommend that you have don't get it for 6 months, get it for 5 years, just in case something happens. You're still in tune to go anytime
Just have your
because we
window
got it
open.
last year, and then COVID hit, so we couldn't go. But as long as as soon as the what do you call it, the borders were open, we were ready to go. So we didn't have to rush. And although the trip was in the rush trip, right?
Yeah. So we got our passport expedited.
Yeah, we're lucky to get it expedited through.
But it was a little costly.
Yeah, a little costly, which I mean is still okay, right? Yeah.
So even if you kind of like us have like the opportunity to go on short notice, you can contact your state senator's office and they can expedite your passport faster than the normal standard expediting process. So it's almost like an overnight thing, but it does cost a little extra.
Yeah, it has. It has, but it's all worth it because you can travel as quick as you want within the time frame that you have, right? Yeah, and then the next thing is the COVID test. You see, you need a COVID test 72 hours before you get on the flight. So it has to be in between the 72-hour range.
It's a specific kind, isn't it? The
Yes, a very specific kind. A PCR test.
PCR.
Yeah, a PCR test. So that's what you need to have. Because without that, you're gonna be at the airport getting ready to board, and guess what? They're gonna turn you back. And it has to be, the range has to be within 72
Within
hours.
72 hours. We were able to go to our local health department and they had an outdoor testing facility. And so we were able to just do our own little swabs and drop those in a bag, and they emailed our results to us and the next day.
Yeah, no, yeah, it came in within 7 hours, in between 7 hours,
Oh, okay.
5 to 7
The
hours,
same day.
the same day. So when you can do that and get it between 5 to 7 hours, which is real good, yeah. And then another thing that you need to do is
The local department.
well, actually, if you're going directly to Ghana, there are certain things that you need to have. You need to get pay for a COVID test at the Ghana embassy. So getting the COVID test is what do you call it? is $50 for Ghanaians and $150 for what do you call it, for Americans, which I think is a little.
It's not fair. So they have a citizen rate and a non-citizen rate.
Yeah.
So if you happen to be a citizen of Ghana and you want to travel there, then you don't have to pay the whole 150 that I would have to pay.
Yeah. So that's another thing that you need to know too. And then another important thing too that you need to really know is make sure you have a contact there, either on social media, a family member, a friend, somebody that you know, because it makes it easier for your own movement, for your own information, and especially even if you don't speak the language, you know, which she doesn't, you know. So she's able, I'm with her, so whatever they say, I'm able to connect it with, you know, so it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. So, it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to navigate in terms of, you know, anywhere you want to go and all that kind of stuff. You know, sorry about the phone call. They could always giving us a. Anyway.
It's a busy life we have, okay?
Yeah. So another thing too that you need to be very, very, very much aware and is make sure that you have a regular taxi driver. A regular
I think we still have to talk about stuff to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was the COVID, then there was the yellow fever.
Yeah, the yellow fever. The yellow fever, I would have rather advise that, because if you want to get it here in the States or anywhere else, it's still very expensive. So I would advise that go get it once you get it at the airport. And at the airport it's like what, $20? You know.
It was amazing. So the difference in price was so dramatic. Like looking up it's called Travel Health. I think that's what it's called. Travel Health services here. The shots, getting all the shots you need to travel, which turned out to be basically the yellow fever shot, was $250 plus some type of scheduling fee. But we decided to wait. Someone told us we could get the shot in Ghana. And so when we landed, after I got my COVID test, the very next thing I did was get my yellow fever shot, and it cost $20. So we went from $250 plus an appointment fee to $20. So I was
and that I think was so cool. You will save yourself, I mean, some extra dollars that you can use down there to purchase whatever you need to purchase, you know. And then another thing that I really wanted to talk about is make sure you have a regular taxi driver. Anybody you meet, and you know, they're very nice, but it will be okay for you to be able to have somebody that you can trust. You know, that doesn't mean that you can't trust anybody else, but you might meet somebody who is just very warm, welcoming you, and then it's okay to be able to get to know them very well, just in case, because it's gonna happen, and it happened to us. Luckily enough, my mom had a taxi driver, and we were able to, you know, Peter.
Peter's in one of our videos.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. We had like an array of drivers, so it is really important to get a driver you trust. You may have to test out a couple of them. Some of them drive really crazy, fast, in and out of traffic, and some of them do not do all of that. So our favorite driver was Andy, and Andy is still on our WhatsApp. So if you happen to be in Ghana and need a good driver, we can refer you.
Yeah. You know, if you need, you know, so that we have that, and then I would recommend that if you have an unlocked phone, which is will be the best, you know, because you might want to get a chip right away, you know, and then what they normally do is they take your passport and then register the chip for you, you know, so that you can download the Uber app. You know, they have, I think, a couple of them, Yango, Bolt.
So what is that, like a SIMS card?
Yeah, get the SIMS card. you know,
So
either
it's
from
like an international SIM card? Or?
yeah, no, the local SIM card over
Oh,
there,
local.
you know, and get a number right away because they use your number to register you, you
For
know,
everything.
for everything, so that even if the driver needs to contact you, they can contact you directly.
On both.
Yeah, so we use both.
Mhm.
So the boat, since we put the chip in there, it was able to tell who I was.
Okay.
You know, because it got registered and everything. So the driver can call you right away, say, hey, you know, the driver called me and I'm like, okay,
I remember the one
yeah,
driver called us and told us to cancel our
yeah,
trip.
yeah. So he
they
called.
can pick their trips. It's not like Uber. They can pick their trips and be like,
Yeah,
how
but
far are you going?
yeah, but there's a little trick to it because it's like if you cancel it, then it goes against you for your next trip. But if
That's
they
not
cancel,
Uber.
yeah,
That's
if
not
they
Uber.
cancel it, you know, so that's something that you need to
So the
know as
biggest
well.
difference between the ride sharing app in Ghana and the ride sharing app here, Uber, is that you could pay in cash.
Yeah.
So they'll give you a starting price, and of course it can fluctuate with time and distance, but it's normally in the range. But at the end of your trip, you can just give your driver cash and you don't have to have a card.
Yeah, in Ghana everything is cash. Yeah, everything is cash. So once you have your, you know, American dollars, whatever you have, you know, from
We'll try
anywhere.
to exchange it.
Yeah, it's easy to exchange over there, and you know, so that's another thing too. And then, what else we want to talk about?
Um,
Yeah, there are a
I
couple
have
of
questions. People ask me all kinds of questions.
yeah, there's a couple of questions that people were asking, and that I think we should have answers to, right?
So
Yeah.
one of the questions was about Cape Coast. And Cape Coast was not on my list, unfortunately. I know a lot of people, that's their first stop. But for me, I told myself I didn't come to Africa to cry, you know. So Cape Coast, if you're not familiar, is the castle that still has like the tourist for, I guess, an explanation of slavery, or to just kind of visually show people how it was and where people were stored and where they had to pass through the passage of no return.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go to Africa for that. I went for food. I went for culture. I went to like reconnect, but not to cry, not to feel that hurt, not to feel that pain. That's not what I went there for. I live with that. It's part of who I am. And so I passed on Cape Coast.
Yeah. And then there was another question that people were asking whether we were going to go to Kumasi. But the time frame was so short because we had left the kids, you know, and making sure that in between the time that we were, so we couldn't really make it to Kumasi.
And the distance.
Yeah, and the distance is a little, you
So
know.
we did meet with a guy from Kumasi.
Yeah, we met with a guy from Kumasi.
He's now my Kente guy.
Yeah, he has some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we put it on the website so you can see and you know go ahead and you know purchase some orders.
Right. So he does hand woven authentic kente. His name is Bright, and he came down from Kumasi. He said the trip from Kumasi to Ghana was about 4 hours.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
And that kind of made us go,
No,
maybe we
well,
won't make
well,
it. It was
well,
too far.
Yeah, we will. I mean, everywhere in Ghana is a little, you know, a little bit of a distance.
Yeah.
Not like here though, but.
But 4 hours
Yeah.
is a lot.
You know.
So if you wanted to get from Accra to Kumasi, you could actually fly. You could fly. And
Yeah, I
like
think
less
it's a
than an
little.
hour.
How much was it for? Like maybe I forgot the price,
I
but
don't
it's
remember.
yeah, it's better that way. You know, they got the airport there, and I think it's less than an hour, probably like an hour. Yeah, so
it's
you
less
should
than
be
an
good.
hour to fly. So
Yeah.
if you want to go from Accra,
And
to
I think that's
Kumasi,
really convenient.
it's better to
Yeah.
fly because driving is already crazy. I think our furthest trip was to Tima.
To my yeah.
Tima, and that
Yeah.
took about an hour, but it was an hour through everything. It was an hour through like paved road, dirt road, seashore, highway. Like it was an hour through everything. And so if you're going to travel 4 hours away, it's better to try a different method.
Yeah, and then what's the next one? All right, so there's this thing that I really needed you to know, you know, about the malaria. So when we went there, there was we asked, okay, what are the shots that you need and all that kind of stuff. But one of the pharmacy over there told us that we needed a particular medicine, which is like what's the name? I think Larium.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember the name Larium.
All I remember is about 3 days in and 100 mosquito bites later, I started to get really sick. Like, we didn't know what was going on. And he got nervous and was like, we got to get you some malaria medicine.
So,
and someone said, well, I think one of your friends had mentioned, like, well, I hate for her to catch malaria while she's here. And he was on it.
yeah, I mean, you're in Africa, and malaria is just, I mean, it's a hot country, not only in Ghana, but some parts of the other tropical countries too. So you want to take that tablet is for every week. So every week you take one. So I got it, on the first week we got there, and she took it every. I mean, I'm from there, so although I haven't been there in a long time, but it kind of my body is still kind of used to those mosquitoes over there because they're everywhere sometimes.
Someone said it's $25 to fly to Kumasi.
No, it's $25.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. Thanks for the information.
Right?
Yeah, and then
So the malaria medicine.
the malaria medicine is I forgot the price. It's something small. It's not that much, but for as long as you're gonna stay, so you take it every week. So you can start it on Monday, Sunday, depending on the day that you arrive. And I would recommend that get that because it's very, very important.
And I felt a lot better. So
Yeah, I mean, And then another thing too is make sure that you only drink bottled water. Cause we had an issue about that. There's some water in the sachet, which is okay for the Ghanaians over there because their body is used to it, their system is used to it. My system is not used to it. I mean, although I'm Ghanaian, and I have friends who went there, thought they can drink it. Don't do that, please. It's a no. Get a bottled water.
with water, actually pay attention to all of the water because even drinks, you'll go somewhere to have a drink and the drink may be made with tap water, which would be fine for most people, but if your system is not used to the water. And so even in restaurants, if they want to give you tea and they made the tea or whatever type of, someone gave me sorrel,
Yeah.
hibiscus drink.
Yeah, Subaru.
And it was delicious, but I didn't think that they probably made it, with water. Just be really careful.
That's
with,
very, very important.
with drinks.
Yeah.
Just buy whatever you drink. Just buy it already sealed in the store, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's nice to taste, some stuff, but make sure wherever you're having it, you have. There's certain you should be careful. That's all. So yeah, I think somebody asked over here the vaccine.
If you're vaccinated, do you still have to take the PCR test at the airport? And quite honestly, they're not asking. They're not asking you if you're vaccinated. They just you have to take the test. You have to take the test to get in, and you got to take the test to get out.
Yeah, but because I think even if you're vaccinated, because I think I had a story about that. Even
You
if
could
you're
be a
vaccinated, you could be a carrier to somebody else. So it's something that you need to. You just need to, So the vaccination only supports, the baseline. So that's something that
And the test process on the way out is very good as well. It's right on the airport campus, and they have everything set up outdoors, and you pretty much have like 3 checkpoints. One being where you give them your information for your passport and your flight, and the last one being where they jab you in the nose with that.
Yeah, so with that, I would recommend that when you're coming back, you're gonna need the test. But the test, there are different places that do the test. Nyaho Clinic, other places, and other places. The prices all vary. But I will show you. Go to the airport, the Terminal 2, KLM, and I'll repeat it again. KLM has a site set up, and guess what? It's 300 Ghana cedis. 300 Ghana cedis. That would be like basically maybe like $50, something like that. Yeah, that's $100 at the time was like 571, depending on the fluctuation of the rate. So I would recommend It's Terminal 2. They have a setup, nice setup, and it's so quick. And guess what? This is the good part about it. 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours. 3 hours. You know, they're doing really good.
They
They're
do
doing really,
well,
really, really
and
good.
then you can just go back there and pick up your results.
Yeah. So what some people do is they whatever time they fly, they go there early. Maybe you fly in at night, all flights leave at night. So they go there early and then you know, take the test within 3 hours. They're good, you know, and then you get your results, and then it's quick. So these are some of the things that we just wanted to share with you all, and I think we still have a couple of questions over here, and let's see if we can. Somebody asked if you made these outfits. I mean, you should know. Well, I guess.
Oh, I mean, maybe we haven't really introduced ourselves. So I'm Chantel, and I'm going by African stepdaughter because at this point I'm adopted. Like I'm in the family, even though I'm not quite African. And
you are African. You should
apparently,
know that. Oh, yes.
I am.
Okay.
That's why I'm a stepdaughter. So I do make clothes using African print, and my husband.
Yeah, from Ghana, Philip Corte.
Osu boy.
Osu boy, yes. Yeah, very popular in Osu. Kind of.
Kind of. Well, no, really. Now that I've been, I'm convinced he's very popular in Osu. We got stopped a lot, just walking down the street.
Yeah, I think I kind of tried to hide a little bit, but people were just calling me, even all those guys on the streets, you know, those selling the fish in the middle there. Some of them say, "Oh yeah, you came back." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And then one person just called me from all over. Yeah, you know. So I thought that was cool. I mean, so these are some of the things that I wanted to share with you all. And then I think there was one more question that somebody asked, this very unique question. What is so strange about strange about you going to Ghana with your so-called American wife? It's always, you know, some people just, but I think it was important because when we got married, I promised her that I promised her that I'm gonna travel with her. You know, and it's, you know how it is. Sometimes you want to do one thing and something else.
I need PK.
And something else goes wrong, or something else comes up, or something else. You know, you want to make sure that you fulfill the promise. You know, so it's taking 10 years. So I think it was important. I think it was very, very, very important for us to be able for me to take care.
It took a whole 10 years, you guys.
So
years.
I think I broke the spell of not being able to take it. So that is so important.
We were never gonna go. I was starting to feel like it just was not gonna happen. We've been married for 10 years. We have 3 kids, 2 grandkids, and a business together, and we had not been to Africa yet. So we knew that when we would go, that it would be big for us, and we wanted to share it with you guys. So this is what we've been doing. And I know you can hear our little ones, so we're getting ready to check out because they're restless. But we'll let them say hi. Come say hello. Come on, guys. Come on, cause I know everyone's like, why do they keep looking left and right?
Yeah, they all.
Hola.
Come on. Yes, they come in. Come here.
So
if you haven't seen our video, Family of 8, we
The
are
cute kids.
and the cute kids. We are a family of 8.
Please subscribe.
And
And like.
thank you, PK.
And hit the notification bell.
All right. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any extra questions, feel free to put them in the comment section, and we'll be glad to
all right, guys.
come back and see you guys again.
Okay.
Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right, guys. So these are some of the things we wanted to share with you all. And if you have any more questions, just don't hesitate and just put it in there for us, and we're glad to answer all those questions for you. Okay. All right. Thanks all for watching, and thank